من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما أما بعد. Alhamdulillah, we have entered into the month of Sha'ban, which is the month preceding or the month coming before Ramadan. And we have now less than 1 month until the blessed month of Ramadan. So the question is, how do we prepare? There are 2 ahadith that I'm going to share, inshaAllah. The first hadith is the hadith of Aisha radiallahu anha, narrated by Imam al-Bukhari. قالت رضي الله عنها لم يكن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم يصوم شهرا من الشهور أو يصوم أكثر من شعبان فإنه كان يصوم شعبان كله وفي رواية كان يصوم شعبان كله كان يصوم شعبان إلا قليلا. Aisha radiallahu anha narrated that the Prophet ﷺ did not fast any month more than Ramadan, more than he did in the month of Sha'ban. And she said that he used to fast the entire month of Sha'ban. This month that we are in, he used to fast the entire month. And then in another narration she said, he used to fast the entire month. He used to fast the entire month except for very little of it. Meaning that he would not consistently fast all 30 or 29 days, but most of Sha'ban he would fast. Why fast all of Sha'ban if we know that we're fasting in Ramadan? Why fast almost like 2 months in a row? The answer, as we all have experienced in our lives and every year in Ramadan, is that fasting in Ramadan is difficult. And a lot of people, they say that, especially in Muslim countries, the number of people who go to the hospital on the first day of Ramadan greatly increases. Because so many people are not used to fasting the entire year. And then they have that shock, and it's very difficult for them. So one reason is preparing yourself. We all know also at the end of the month of Ramadan, also from experience, that it's very easy, right? And we say, oh, we could have continued actually more after Ramadan. And many people fast the 6 days of Shawwal right away after the Eid is over. Because they say fasting is so easy now, we're so used to it. That's how we want to be entering into Ramadan. Not in the very last days of Ramadan that we just barely got used to it and then Ramadan is over. But rather, if you fast many days in Sha'ban, you will find that it's like a preparation and like working out or building yourself up to a race before the actual race day, and you will find that you are very well suited and you are well prepared for that race. Likewise, you are very well prepared for Ramadan if you've already fasted 15 or 20 or 25 days in the month of Sha'ban. In another hadith, we see another reason for fasting Sha'ban. The hadith of Usama ibn Zayd radiyallahu anhu narrated by An-Nasa'i and by Imam Ahmad. عن أسامة بن زيد رضي الله عنه قال سألت النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم لم أرك تصوم شهرا من الشهور ما تصوم من شعبان قال ذاك شهر يغفل الناس عنه بين رجب ورمضان وأحب أن يرفع عملي وأنا صائم وأحب أن يرفع عملي وأنا صائم أو كما قال صلى الله عليه وسلم. Usama ibn Zayd radiallahu anhu, he says, I asked Rasulullah, I never saw you fasting outside of Ramadan as much as you do in the month of Sha'ban. The Prophet ﷺ said that is a month that people don't pay much attention to, between Rajab and Ramadan. And وهو شهر يرفع الأعمال فيه ترفع فيه الأعمال إلى رب العالمين. The Prophet ﷺ said, and that's a month where the actions are raised to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Our actions are raised and presented to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The scholars said, according to this hadith, in 2 days or 2 parts of the year. Once is weekly and once is yearly. The weekly is every Monday and Thursday, and the yearly is every month of Sha'ban. The monthly day, the monthly raising of our actions to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the month of Sha'ban. The Prophet ﷺ said, وَهُوَ شَهْرٌ تُرْفَعُ فِيهِ الْأَعْمَالُ إِلَى رَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ فَأُحِبُّ أَنْ يُرْفَعَ عَمَلِي وَأَنَا صَائِمٌ. Imagine if your actions are presented to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is the action of so-and-so, what they did this year. And at the same time, that person is fasting. That means it's more likely Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will have mercy on that person and to forgive some of their sins for what they did in that year. And then, like we said also in that same hadith, that the Prophet ﷺ said, Al-Ithnaini wal-Khamis, that Mondays and Thursdays are also a day where the actions are presented to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. نسأل الله أن ينفعنا بما قلنا وسمعنا والحمد لله رب العالمين. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين أما بعد. We mentioned some of the reasons why we should fast in the month of Sha'ban that we are in right now, to prepare for Ramadan. And also it's a month where the actions are presented to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we are more likely to have the mercy of Allah if we are fasting at that same time. Finally, there is a very important reason to fast in this month, and that is if we missed any days from last year's Ramadan. Because the scholars say that it is haram to delay making up your fasts past 1 more year's Ramadan. So you have 1 year to make up your fasts. And you are not allowed to let those fasts build up until past the next Ramadan after that. Except if you have an excuse. Some people might be sick the entire year, so they never had a chance to make up those fasts, and they would have a special situation. Some women got pregnant 1 year, and then the next year after that, they also were pregnant again, or they were breastfeeding, and it was very difficult for them to fast. So likewise, that's an excuse. But some people are just careless. Some people have many years where they did not make up Ramadan fasts. Some women, yes, they have the excuse of pregnancy, but you will find that they never made up these fasts even after giving birth to the children, and years later, still she never made up those fasts. So this is a dain, this is a debt that we owe to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If we miss a day in Ramadan, we have to make it up. And as quickly as possible, meaning in that year. There is no sin upon you if you delay making up your fasts until Sha'ban. And Aisha radiallahu anha used to do that. She would delay making it up the entire year. And she said because she was busy with the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, taking care of him, making sure that he has all of his needs met, and being busy with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So she would only make up her fast in Sha'ban. So there's no sin in delaying it till Sha'ban. Only the sin is if we delay it past Ramadan, and again, that's without an excuse. And a lot of people have a legitimate excuse why they couldn't make up their fast during that year. In any case, we should rush to make up any fasts in this month of Sha'ban that we have missed from the previous year. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to allow this to be a blessed month for us, and a month where we increase in fasting and reading the Quran. Again, the only action of this month is not fasting, but just as a quick reminder, every good deed as a preparation for Ramadan. So that includes reading Quran. And some scholars or some people used to call this month of Sha'ban Shahrul Qurra, the month of Qurra. because Qurra, they always review the Quran every month. If you memorize the Quran, you have to review it at least once a month. But it's better if you do it every 10 days or every 15 days, but at least once a month. But in Ramadan, they're going to be leading Taraweeh, so they would prepare even more. And likewise for the average Muslim too. If we finish the Quran every month, then we should try to increase in the month of Sha'ban. And if we don't finish the Quran every month, then we should try to start this habit and continue the rest of our lives that we have a wird of reading the Quran and trying to finish it at least one time in a month. نسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى ينفعنا بما قلنا وسمعنا. اللهم اغفر للمسلمين والمسلمات والمؤمنين والمؤمنات الأحياء منهم والأموات إنك سميع قريب مجيب الدعوات. عباد الله إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. اذكروا الله العظيم يذكركم واشكروه على نعمه يزدكم ولذكر الله أكبر والله يعلم ما تصنعون. I think I'm fine with that. Yeah. So. Should I pray here? You need a second? Okay. Assalamu.
الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح قد قامت الصلاة وقد قامت الصلاة الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
Still.
More in the corner because the noise is going to bounce back here.
Okay.
So more.
More. Is the microphone working?
It should be working.
Okay. Still. Allahu Akbar. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. بسم الله. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. اللهم صل السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.